The citizen science project that I chose to do is Brain Match, and the reason I chose to do this is because if I didn't go into social work, I wanted to go into radiology to potentially become a CAT scan technician. And the question that scientists are trying to answer is how accurate brain registration truly is. And the way that citizens can contribute to this is by collecting data. And if the data collected by the citizens is similar, then they want to train computers to better judge the quality of brain registration in the future. And the way that the citizens collect the data is by comparing a target brain to an individual's brain. If the brain is found to have 0 tags, then it's going to be considered an okay brain. If the brain has 1 tag or several unadjacent tags, then it's going to be considered a maybe. And if the brain has 2 or more adjacent tags, or the image is very blurry, then it's going to be considered a failed brain. And when you're doing this, you come over to where the images are, and then you look to find the different matches. So here you see that there's a mismatch right here because it doesn't add up. I'll move that so you can see. Where the red is, you see a line through it, and that's where the mismatch is. That's not supposed to be there. So you put the target there. And then there's also a mismatch here. There's the white line, which is also showing that there's a mismatch. There's a disformity right here where the brain curves in, so there's also one considered to be there. This brain is clean, as well as these, but in the lower right-hand corner, the brain dips in, so that's considered to be a mismatch as well. And so this brain is considered to be a maybe because the disformities are considered unadjacent. Okay, so the data collected on hour 1, there were 216 mismatches. 8 of the brains were considered okay, 13 brains were considered maybe, and 14 of the brains were failed. On hour 2, there were 295 mismatches. 7 of the brains were okay, 14 were maybe, and 21 of the brains were considered failed. On hour 3, there were 286 mismatches. 12 of them were considered okay, 16 were considered maybe, and 17 were considered to be failed. With all the data collected by the citizens participating, the scientists will be able to determine how accurate brain registration is. This will contribute to them being able to potentially tell whether or not they'll be able to use computers for brain registration. The questions that I have developed were how my data is going to compare with the other citizens. I also wanted to know how to tell what brain had what disorder with the mismatches, and how exactly the quality of brain registration will improve if they use computers. And the ways that my appreciation for scientists and science in general expanded was just by the overall work that they do, and I see it on a whole nother level because I understand how stressful and how much work goes into each study that they do. And with the scientific method, I now understand how important each individual process really is, and how much time and effort goes into them. And I realized that it's not a small amount of data, it's a lot to find a definitive answer. And my appreciation for citizen science has expanded because It gives citizens the opportunity to have a positive impact on scientific studies, which is really cool.